it's certainly not balanced, right?
No,
if you
it's
look
not
at the
balanced.
top 1% of the world is $34,000 a year.
Yeah.
If you make $34,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of the world. You're basically living in like lower income America.
Right.
Is the top 1% of the world.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is.
And so, like, why is that? Well, corrupt governments, lack of freedom, lack of democracy, but also exploitation from American businesses where they go over there and they start sweatshops. And, you know, I mean, one of the greatest ironies is people complaining about social justice issues on an iPhone, which is made by slaves.
Oh, yeah. It's a horrible.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing.
I had Siddharth Kara on the podcast. He's a journalist that traveled to the Congo to watch them mine cobalt and snuck into these cobalt mines. And he wrote this. Is it called Cobalt Red? Is that what it's called? It's out. It's out at the end of this month. It's not even out
what
yet.
they do to get the?
It's fucking horrific.
Yeah.
I mean, horrific. It's all slaves. It's slaves. It's women who are 19 years old with Cobalt Red. How the blood of the Congo powers our lives.
And that's some of what goes into like electric cars and stuff too, right?
Yes, cobalt. Yeah. It goes with lithium-ion batteries. It stabilizes them. So, you know, there's all sorts of shit that has to. That's a cobalt mine.
This is the thing is that we look at these wide shots of just like clogs of people. That's how most human beings live, and.
Well, this is particularly egregious. But
and this is what are they? They're making iPhones in there.
First of all, look at that dude right there, the one with the tan shirt. Yeah, that dude's jacked. If I was that guy, I'd be like, "Hey, buddy, do you know how to wrestle? Like, come here. You want to make some money?
Yeah.
Like, look at the size of that motherfucker. That guy's got superior genetics.
This is some guy. This is some guy. He could live in Cincinnati.
Right.
He could work at the Avis in at the airport in St. Louis.
Or he could be a UFC champion.
Yeah, but he's in this huge pile of people so that we can have
phones.
The new phone.
Yeah.
It's a crazy amount of it's so lopsided.
So lopsided.
And then our lives become more and more pointless until people are like, should we just give Americans money? You know, like Andrew Yang's idea. Let's just give them money and they don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's just fucking
like,
so
what are we doing? What the fuck? The point of life used to be, don't die. That used to be the point of life.
Yeah.
Don't die, pass on your sperm or whatever. And then somewhere in the margins, you'd be like, this feels good. You know, like next to a fire and you just almost died, but you cooked the thing that tried to kill you and you're eating it. And you go, all right, I feel good. This feels nice. And you get to enjoy the stars in the sky, you know? There's something to that. But this point of like, just give everybody money every week so that they can buy. But who's doing anything? Like and just let
Where's
them.
the money coming from?
Let them make the shit. They're invisible. And then let's all just be. And then we start having conversations about what's the right way to say things and what's the right stuff to put in your body and what's the right position to sleep in. Because it's a joke. It's just funny to me, I guess is the thing. Like I see
what you're saying.
I remember I was at a wedding and there was a guy there who was Tibetan and with his wife. And my wife and I were talking about our dog. And we're saying that she was getting surgery. She's had a hard month because and he goes, I'm sorry, who was getting surgery? And we said, our dog. And he just laughed really hard. He was like, what? Our dog was in surgery. And he's like, I'm really sorry. And he was like, I'm sorry. I don't understand. He thought like our mom was having surgery or something. It's like, you give your dog surgery? You put a dog in an operating room and operate them? This guy who's like from some place in Tibet was like, that's insane. You know, it's like my chicken has a psychiatrist on some level. It's like ridiculous.